When the Imperium of Man faces a galaxy-ending threat, it typically sends its demigods first. But the legendary Space Marines, despite their transhuman strength, have a math problem. There are simply too few of them, and entirely too many horrors in the dark. When surgical strikes fail, a single guardsman deployed against an orc horde is statistically insignificant. However, the Astra Militarum changes the math of survival by deploying tens of millions of troops to a single war zone, grinding down the enemy through an endless, suffocating tide of flesh and steel. Humanity holds its borders against a hostile universe through the continuous, unrelenting application of mortal blood and cold steel. Managing an army this size requires a logistical framework so massive it borders on the incomprehensible. High on Terra, the Departmento Munitorum exacts the Imperial Tithe, a mandate requiring every governed planet to surrender at least 10% of its military forces to the Emperor's service. Millions of recruits and tanks launch across interstellar space, converging into massive fleet groupings toward crisis points. But mistakes are inevitable. A single misplaced zero can cause an entire army group to stray off course, lost forever in the deep vacuum of space. Even when they arrive, these troops must be fed and armed. The Munitoro routes billions of tons of rations, fuel, and medical supplies using rigid, localized quotas. The system is so slow and cumbersome that supplies often arrive years after a battle has ended. Before a guardsman ever sees an alien horror in the trenches, they have already survived the crushing apathy of their own logistical masters. Down in the mud, that supply chain dictates every piece of gear issued to the rank and file. The standard kit is stripped down and universally mass-produced. The M36 Cantrail las rifle is the core of this equipment. Compared to the explosive rounds used by Space Marines, the Lasgun is frequently mocked as a mere flashlight, as a single laser bolt rarely stops a charging alien beast. The weapon's true value is logistical. It has few moving parts to jam in the mud. Power packs can be recharged using direct sunlight or even campfires. This drastically simplifies the burden on supply lines, allowing regiments to maintain fire for months without a shipment of physical ammunition. Individual beams are weak, but when a commander focuses the fire of 10,000 rifles on a single point, the thermal energy accumulates. This overlapping heat creates a massive spike in damage that can melt through even the thickest armor. The Lasgun succeeds through the weight of synchronized, sustainable attrition, destroying targets through sheer volume rather than individual power. To hold the line, the infantry requires an armored anvil. The Imperium provides this with the Leman Russ battle tank. This vehicle favors raw durability over mobility. It is a slow-moving, blocky slab of 150mm frontal armor, designed to crawl forward and absorb punishment that would vaporize lesser vehicles. Its multi-fuel engine can run on almost any combustible liquid, from refined promethium to crude biofuels. This ensures that armored columns keep moving even when specialized fuel supplies fail to arrive. The chassis is also highly modular. Commanders can replace the standard battle cannon with short-range demolition guns for city fighting, or rapid-fire Gatling cannons for clearing infantry. The Leman Russ reflects the Astra Militarum's core philosophy. Mass-produced brute force is always preferable to technological elegance. Sanity is a fragile resource in the Astra Militarum. When ordinary humans face literal demons in alien swarms, regiments often break under the psychological strain of astronomical casualty rates. The Imperium uses the officio perfectus, the commissariat, to prevent these total collapses. Commissars stand outside the standard military hierarchy. They are disciplinary enforcers with the absolute authority to summarily execute any soldier or officer who displays cowardice or incompetence in the heat of battle. This cruelty is a tactical requirement. To keep the army from routing, the soldiers' fear of the commissar's pistol must outweigh their fear of the enemy. Brutal discipline acts as the structural mortar for the entire military, forcing the imperial sledgehammer to hold together upon impact. For the individual soldier, life is measured in mere hours on a drop zone. They fight for survival rather than for the promise of a peaceful retirement. Billions of these troops die in anonymity. Their deaths are recorded thousands of light-years away as microscopic fractional adjustments in the Munitorum's vast ledgers. Yet the system holds. Humanity survives the 41st millennium because these nameless soldiers fix bayonets, step into the fire, and hold the line.